Hi, this is Gabrielle Moore, and darling, I am so excited that you've decided to spend some time with me today. I'm absolutely bursting with happiness to be able to share this with you, because when it comes to giving your woman ecstatic orgasms with oral sex, this is the kind of quality, no-holds-barred information you simply must have to become a master of cunnilingus. And oh my goodness, when you do that, she'll never let you go. You'll keep her so hot and bothered she'll be thinking of you day and night, and that, my love, makes for one very hot and exciting love life for both of you. So let's get started, okay? Today I want to talk to you about something I hear over and over again. How do I make her want oral sex? It can be an issue for a lot of you, especially when your woman feels shy or uncertain about this very special way of loving her. And sometimes the problem is simply a different way of looking at your sexual fulfillment and how you get there. For example, when a guy talks about his sexual experiences, he'll usually use words that focus on the penetrative aspects of sex. Words like fuck, thrust, and deep, where the end goal is to somehow push a woman over the edge with their jackhammer-like piston action. It's not often you'll hear a man say something along the lines of, "I tenderly caressed her until she blossomed with pleasure," or "I barely touched her and yet she still had an incredibly powerful orgasm." Yet these softer words and explanations are more suited to a woman's sexual experience, as the vagina, where most men feel the action takes place, houses very few nerve endings, and of those that can be found in that area, most are right along the first inch of the entrance. As an example, the Kinsey Report's Dr. Kinsey did a survey of close to 900 women where he asked their gynecologist to touch the woman's inner vaginal walls, labial lips, and clitoris. Interestingly, the ladies didn't feel many of the touches that swept across their inner vaginal walls, yet 98% were aware when their clitoris was touched. Still, the fact that a woman's clitoris holds the key to a woman's positive sexual response can drive any sane man to distraction, or at the very least, make him question his manhood. Why would a penis fit so perfectly and feel so wonderful when placed inside of a woman if it wasn't meant to be there? The only consolation for most men along these lines is the knowledge that pleasure and procreation aren't interchangeable, and both have different needs when it comes to a woman's sexual experience. Few men want to have this conversation, however, or for that matter, few women. Why? Probably because how many adults today see the world, including sex, marriage, and having kids, was forged with the outlook that intercourse was the only way one could experience sexual pleasure with a partner. If you've slept with one woman, or more than a few, there are bound to be some objections that crop up during the process. Oral sex is no different from penis-vagina intercourse in this matter, especially if your partner isn't used to receiving oral sex, has had a bad experience, or isn't comfortable with her own body yet. As I said a moment ago, one of the questions I get asked most often is how you can deal with your love's objections to participating in oral sex. I can tell by the emails and letters I get that your intentions are to give your woman the most wonderful, pleasurable, and orgasmic oral sex possible. But sometimes she's a little slow to warm up to the idea. Here are 5 common challenges you might face and how to deal with them. 69 is uncomfortable and awkward. You aren't alone. Depending on the angle that you two choose to 69 in, it can be a pleasure or a pain. The easiest way to get around this dilemma is to lie down next to each other on your sides, which will help to minimize any issues with height differences or who holds the other person's weight. But 69 really isn't the optimal position for oral sex for either partner. Use it as an introduction or foreplay, but not the main event. It's just too hard for most women to focus on giving you pleasure and having enough in their head time to get to orgasm themselves. She says she's not in the mood. It's pretty common for a woman to feel like she's being held back from really enjoying herself, especially if she's being given oral sex for the first time. To reduce some of the pressure, try turning off the lights or using really low lights, such as candles, to help her feel more sexy and able to let go. It takes her a long time to orgasm, so she chafes. If you know that you're going to be down there for a long while, avoid chafing issues, both of her bits and yours, by using some lube. Make it even more pleasurable by trying out different kinds of flavored lubes. But make sure to ask her a few days after if she liked it, because some flavored lubes use so much sugar in them for flavoring that it can affect the delicate balance of her nether regions negatively, meaning they can give her a yeast infection. She won't let me make her come and I'm getting frustrated. I realize that you want to see this as your partner's problem, but really it's not. This is a communication issue, not one of her not wanting to orgasm under your tender, loving care. Think back to what she said regarding her orgasms in the past. Does she prefer a certain position or has problems getting to climax with just your tongue? Does she use a vibrator while masturbating on her own? Has anyone ever made her orgasm? Think about the answers to those questions. If you don't know, it's time to ask. Then it's time to invest some serious energy into figuring out what the issue is without pressuring her so much that she's not interested in being with you anymore. I'll never forget the guy who refused to play with my breasts because he didn't really think I needed it to orgasm. But I did, and I do. So I felt angry and frustrated that he was implying there was something wrong with me, as well as that he refused to really hear what I was saying. Don't be that guy. You can instead lay off for a bit, give her some time, focus on what she does like and what pleases her. She might have been telling you all along what will help her orgasm, but maybe there's a roadblock in your mind that's stopping you. Remember, a woman's orgasm isn't so much about your technique as it is about her pleasure. She says she's never had an orgasm with oral sex. This is entirely possible. Either she hasn't been comfortable enough with her other partners to really let go and feel the pleasure they've given her, or maybe they just didn't have the necessary skills to make her climax. Either way, there's nothing wrong with her. If anything, you want to take her admission as a challenge. Plus, when you begin using the techniques and tips I've created for you, if you really listen to her and her body, it's unlikely she'll ever be able to say again that oral sex doesn't make her orgasm. These are just a few of the objections you might hear and how to overcome them. I go into more of these in great detail in the Hot Licks program. But for now, the most important thing to remember is taking your time to set the scene and really convey your love to her in a way that makes her much more willing to participate in oral sex. So right now, let's talk about how you can literally seduce your woman with great love and some very hot strategies and make her body like butter melting into your mouth in the most delicious way. Keep in mind that men and women are very different when it comes to sexual response. While it's relatively safe to say that you can tell when a man is excited or when he's had an orgasm, it isn't so easy with women. Try to think of sexual response with a guy as a light bulb that can be switched on and off, whereas a woman is better compared to an oven that takes time to warm up. Here are some more ways to tell if a woman is excited and where along the sexual response cycle she lies. Breathing cues. Pay attention to the breathing of the woman you're with, and you'll learn a lot about where she's at sexually. Breathing deeply and relaxed, she's ready for you to up the ante with something new and further along, such as moving from kissing to playing with her breasts, or from licking her labia to flicking her clitoral head. If she starts panting, though, she's found the pre-orgasm phase, and she's ready to climax. Some women will also clench other parts of their body the closer they get, teeth, fingers, legs, toes, or make really weird faces. Ask her what feels good. Unfortunately, a good handful of people think that just because it feels good to them, it'll also feel good to their lover. When this happens, it creates more of a distraction than anything else. As an example, many men will play with a woman's clitoris like they would want their penis to be touched, quickly and forcefully. Yet for most women, this is much too fast, and even uncomfortable or painful for those who are extremely sensitive or just plain not ready. On the flip side, many men complain that women do not give good hand jobs because they handle the appendage as they would their clitoris, softly with lots of movement all over the penis, instead of focusing in one place. The easiest way to rectify this situation is to communicate often and eagerly with your partner, without pushing her out of her zone. It can be verbal or nonverbal, but it needs to be done in order to share with a woman the ultimate pleasure. Set the stage for romance. Nothing makes a woman's body look better than candlelight. It softens everything with a kiss of romantic light. Before you work on getting naked, turn off the lights slowly and light some candles. I assure you, this will get things moving in the right direction. Making foreplay last. Try to think of sex as lasting all day, if you can. For a woman, having someone set the stage for cunnilingus can be as simple as letting her know what's coming later. You may not be right next to her alone and in the bedroom, but to her, you're setting the stage for a day-long arousal that will only help her to achieve orgasm when the time comes. Try teasing your partner with some of these ideas to make foreplay last longer than merely a couple of minutes. Here are some ideas you can try on your partner to tease them throughout the day in anticipation of the main event. Put a note in her lunchbox, something slightly dirty to get her mind racing at work and ready to take out the frustration on you. Send text messages throughout the day as a secret admirer through an online text messaging server. That way they won't know who's sending them. This will get her heartbeat rising and tempt her mind, because don't forget, the mind is our strongest sexual organ. Place naughty pictures of you in places your partner will find them, making sure to put something in the photo or write something down on it so they know it was intended just for them. Give your partner something special to wear throughout the day, like sexy lingerie, some jewelry, or even a naughty little sex toy to hide you know where or carry with them. Make an appointment at your partner's place of work without letting them know it's you. Then come in and surprise them with a small gift, leaving quickly afterward. Gifts don't have to be expensive to be appreciated. Instead of meeting your partner at the door, leave a trail of roses to the bedroom, something to get them excited about. What will they find at the end? Make sure it's something they'll remember forever. See how much fun this can be? I sincerely hope you'll take this information and put it to use immediately. When I created the Hot Licks program, my whole purpose was to make sure you can give her absolutely mind-blowing orgasms with exquisite oral sex. And these are just the first steps for you to achieve that luscious goal. Remember, it's all about giving her the most incredible pleasure every single time you go down on her, so she can't wait for more. And you know what, my love? When you follow the steps I'm going to give you to make sure that she comes first and fabulously every single time, you're going to enjoy the most exciting love life you could ever imagine. You'll feel so much closer to your partner and discover new depths of feeling and intimacy like nothing you've ever experienced before. So have fun, love large and often, and I'll speak with you again soon.